Okay, I'm not really sure what just happened there with the video. I'm hoping this is a continuation. If not, I guess there'll be two of them that are spliced together. Anyway, I just did a little quick calculation. I wanted to make sure I got it right rather than telling you wrong on the screen. Put this in perspective, 0.05%, that means if you let the bank deposited $100, you would get 5 cents. That's not a very good interest rate right now. Okay, savings, you don't get a lot of money from the bank for just putting something in a savings account. Whereas if they loaned out that same amount of money, $100, the bank would charge $2.40 for it. Now that doesn't seem like much, but that's an awful big difference. And if you put that over, I don't know, thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, that could add up and banks can make some money. All right. Anyway, I digress. Interest is always in money, dollars, and interest rates will always be in percent. Okay, so that is the key takeaway there, folks. So pay attention. And if you're not sure, I would say 90% of the time the questions are going to ask you about interest rate as opposed to just plain interest when I say find it. So watch for that. Simple interest for the most part, oops, let me move my page up here, is usually not what your bank is going to be charging you. Sometimes if you borrow money from a friend or a family member, they might charge you simple percent. An ex-boyfriend of mine actually charged his fiance simple interest on the amount he paid off on her credit card to teach her a lesson. Could be that's why he's my ex. Don't know. Okay. Short-term loans of less than a year. Sometimes you're going to buy a fridge or something like that. Or sometimes you can get a loan from your employer to buy equipment. Actually, a lot of companies will do 0%. They won't charge you interest at all, but some companies will. All right, so simple interest. Key thing here, it's only paid on the amount invested. That'll become important when we talk about compound interest, where you get interest on both the amount you invest and the amount of interest you've earned. And you get the same amount of money every single year. And here is our formula. There's a whole bunch of different formulas that you can use for the different types of interest, but the ones I've chosen, the variables kind of work the same way in all of them, so it makes life a lot easier for us. Okay, so A is the amount at the end. That's what I remember, but technically it's called the accrued amount. P is our principal, the amount you start with, either the amount that you borrow, the amount you invest. I is interest rate as a decimal. Okay. Now, where it says it's going to change in the next section, it still is a decimal, but then there's just more adjustments we have to do. And the time period for now is going to be in years. But again, when we get to compound interest, that's going to change too. So that's the end of that video. Just a little interesting thing about interest.